subject we call the ilm al-zamakan, the knowledge of the time in the Quran. So we can, let's just say if we read about Nuh alayhi salam, we can like carbonate through numbers how many years he's far from us. Like the same way we can use to Musa. It's like the knowledge is like ilm al-zamakan. We call it ilm al-zamakan. Within the scripture, even in the Old Testament, I think. Even in Kabbalah, they use the same methods by using, what's it called? I forgot what's it called. By using Hisab al-Jummal, geometry, they're using that, they can relate. Same as Quran. Because these three religions, they know. They don't want to share, they know. Some of them, the scholars, even the Muslim scholars, like the Mu'tazilas, they know those kind of aspects, but they don't want to share it. I don't know for what reason. Because everything comes from Egypt at the end. I'm not Egyptian myself. Don't think I'm European. Like, I'm half Arab, half European. Yeah? I'm just saying.
We're just humans trying to look for the truth, you know, so...
Yeah, because I found out everything comes from Egypt. And I don't believe that, like, prophets, they were like normal human being. Same as human, like Ibrahim. Because Allah called Ibrahim and Noah and all of them architectures. Al Imran. They used to build. You see all the, when it comes to Mayans, when it comes to temples in India and all of that, and in Jerusalem, these are built by prophets. By prophets.
So
they taught humanity.
Joseph, right?
Even Joseph, and Allah described him, he was a builder, he used to build, he taught people, same way as Enoch, Idris. Because, you know, Kabbalists, they call Enoch as Hermes, yeah?
Don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm still.
There's two type of Kabbalists. There's one Andalusian, and there's the Eastern and East and Westian. There's two kind of Kabbalists. I'm talking about the Andalus part. He described that when it comes to that topic I mentioned. That Enoch, his name is Hermes.
Hermes?
Yeah, Hermes, yeah.
Okay, very important name. I'm going to tell you right now. Very important.
Because that's why, 1 second, because in Arabic, haram is described to pyramid. That's why, you know, for example, you know, the letter S is always to majesty, to make something, to glorify someone. Yeah, it's like Elohim. Even in like Aramaic, the last S, like when the S in the middle of the name is like this for majesty. Haram in Arabic is pyramid. So they refer to, because he's the one who built a pyramid. Even they mention in Kabbalism. He was the first alchemist. He was the first astrologist. He was the first, all the knowledge, the hidden knowledge. He used, like he was physicians. He was a psychologist, but in a spiritual way. Do you understand?
So still, even if I'm going to understand, like I can't take in too much knowledge. As you're talking, I keep writing down stuff, and we keep advancing, and I'm trying to build on, you know, the little pieces. Because in order for me to continue what I'm doing, okay, I need to bring more precision in my work. So that's why I'm a little behind you when you're speaking, so I don't keep up completely. And because we're other people here listening, I'm hoping that you're thinking that you're not only speaking to me, but hoping that you're taking others that are here into account. So you know what I'm saying?
I'm happy to speaking to you because I came here to have a chat with you because no one was there. Remember, no one was there on live. I was listening to you. Then I want to jump. If you don't want me to continue the conversation, then I'll jump off. Simple.
No,
you know what I mean?
nothing to do with it. Only to do it. I'm just telling you how I'm thinking while you speak. That's because when I talk back to you, I have to recognize the others are here.
I see.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have to watch my mouth, you know.
Same. I cannot say all. I know some aspect. I think sometimes I use like.
Oh no, you can say any of that. Everything you said is fine. Nothing. Everything you said is fine. That,
Do you want
that
me to
does,
go?
you're
I'll
that.
go.
There's no nothing you can't say here. I'm telling you right now.
We
Unless you're really
related,
off
man. Come on,
subject.
bro. I know you're Jewish, innit? Come on, man.
Oh, I don't care. Hey, man. Oh no, but I don't care because I got rocked yesterday. Somebody rocked me, and I just thought it was too funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if anybody was here. They called me an Islamic phobe, which, first of all, I'm not even sure what that really means. Okay, because I'm not too good in the dictionary.
Did they say Islamophobe?
What does that mean?
It's like basically a term that someone is anti-Muslims or hate Muslims or trying to preach against somehow, like trying to discriminate Muslims and all. That's the term.
Okay, because I don't understand why anybody has to waste their time, okay, when we're trying to figure out, how to find peace, how to stop our, how to, that.
But
Why
do you
do
know
people?
why? Do you know why? Because I like a lot of people respect. Remember when you used to come in our life, like
Yeah, but
people,
I was
40
jumped
people,
on
they
too
listen
many
to you.
times, so
Yeah, remember when you joined the first time, there's like 50 people listening to you, and they were relating to you. They're like Muslim, they accepted you like as a, they listened to you, they received your information. But when you mentioned Ibrahim being ape, like from it, like you really off, man.
You
they
are
have
too,
they
Mr. T.
That's crazy, man. Like, come
Come
on,
on,
bro. Even
Mr.
Muslims,
T.
like he called him an ape. Like that's crazy.
So it'll be a different day, a different life. You'll change your ways.
ape equals to 22. Okay, Abraham is 44. Okay, Abraham is the house. It works with the constellations. 88. I find these results in a few places. I can explain them. One of them has to do with the cube. The ring of the cube equals 22. The pole equals 211. So everything goes around 11. 22 swings around 11. Right? And we always have to remember the
Do you believe in?
monkeys.
I want to understand from you. Do you actually believe in there is afterlife, or you had previous life, or somehow there's a karmic way, like in numerology? Because I remember the 11 is a prime number. It's like old soul. That's what I've heard it from other Jewish guy. He's using
11's a crazy
Kabbalah.
number. 11's a crazy number.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, you can't stop it. You cannot stop 11 from being what it is at any time. Not only that, the election is on 5/11, and the 131st day of the year is 5/11 again. Something to watch for, May 11th. So, yes, 11 is huge. With three dice, the average is 10 and 11. The high and the low. The low is 10, the high is 11 with three dice.
Even has to do with Muhammad, number 11 has to do with Muhammad because 47, if you break it down, if they call it in, if you summarize the number, let's just say you summarized it like 4, add 7 is 11. Same way 38, even has to do with Muhammad with 38. Same way. I use that's in Quran as well. The number 11 has to do with Muhammad.
It can also
74, chapter 74 is the first chapter Muhammad had revealed to him, and that's like if you break 74 is 11. So Muhammad, when he came, he's warning for even Pharaoh. Do you know Pharaoh is mentioned 74 times in Quran? We just see numbers now. We're not talking details what Allah mentioned regarding this individual. I'm just giving you a picture what has to do with numbers. Like I've mentioned, Muhammad has to do with number because chapter 47 is Surah Muhammad, and chapter 74, if you twist the number 47, if you read it backwards, it's 74. The first chapter was revealed for Muhammad, and it has to do with 11. And do you know what I mean?
Is it 4 sevens or is it 7 4s? So
It's 47. 47.
right, but hold on a second. It's an expression. You're only reading 4 7, but I hear it as 4 sevens or 7 4s. So within what you talk about is another story. and each 7 that you write down is a 167, a 257, a 347. And as well, another thing is you can have when we have joining 6s, we can have 6, and the other 6 will be upside down, or we can have 6, and then the next 6 will be upside down. That's how the rotations will work. That's how all the numbers work.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you mean.
Right. So
It's nice to see
even
this
on
way.
this cube, when you go to the 6th side, it's the opposite side of the first side.
What do you think God is, in your opinion?
Can I tell you something? All I know.
Because do you know what I like about
Can we go back 5,000 years for a
we don't
second?
want to name God. We don't want to name God. We don't describe. You cannot give him a name to God. ليس كمثله شيء. Nothing is comparable to God. That's why you don't want to go there.
It has no value to go there. It would stop us from learning.
What do you mean it stop us from learning, bro? The God is the one who teaches you. If there is no God, Allah He's the one who provides for you. The brain you think of, your consciousness is all has to do with God. You're not controlling your brain. You're not controlling your thoughts. You're not controlling your cells. Do you have controls of your cells? You don't. Do you control your food?
I just mentioned that
you just eat. Your body is digesting your food. That shows you that Allah, He embedded this knowledge. He has to do with you. So how do you say if you don't Allah in the Quran? I don't see, because you don't have a criteria. I respect you as a human, but you don't have criteria. You can't live without book. You can't live without scripture, do you? Like, for example, you can't just base your understanding without referring to scripture, without referring to prime book. Why do I follow Quran? Because it's the most reliable book that you could ever find. Find me other book, I'll be the first one who follows it. And look, I can relate everything what you say. I can relate it to my book. He makes sense of it. Like God is talking me in a present. It's like in a present moment. It's not like it's just a theory of fairy tales when it comes to God. Do you know what I mean? That's why I asked you referring to God, because all what you say is referring to prophets. Has to do with Noah, Ibrahim.
coming of the light from the breath, coming of the light from the breath, coming from the light from the breath, coming from the light from the breath, coming from the light from the breath. Who, where, what? They cut my umbilical cord off. I now have the breath. How do I know anything? I couldn't move my head. How come? What happened? It was the finite of creation came from the breath. Without that breath, finished building. Well, you think the child was just breathing? No, it was the breath the child was taking in, was that organism, was the creator inside of you, finished building that system. Your IP address was being installed inside of you. And when you breathe, okay, we live in the womb of the mother. According to the numbers, this is what it describes. This is the artwork I came up with. This is scribing. When I say describe, it's because I scribe when I write, when I do my work. These are the words they speak. We are in the house, the divided house of Abraham.
Can I read you some Quran? Can I read some Quran for you?
It depends where you want to go with it. If you want to tell me,
No, it's not going to. I'm just going to read you some Quran. Yes.
In English, I hope.
And I'm going to tell you which verse you want. I'm telling you which chapter I'm reading. You can go back to it. You want to go with me? No,
I want to listen, because everybody else is going to have to listen, and not everybody's going to jump in. So I'm going to have to, repeat it. And so I want to do it by ear.
You want to do it by ear? But I'm not going to use English. I'm using Arabic, because Quran is originated in Arabic.
But you're going to have to translate it.
Yeah, I have to translate it. For example, let me tell you which chapter I'm reading. I'm going to tell you which chapter I'm reading, and you could Google it and search it up for yourself. Yeah? You might as well just do it, man. I'm just giving you some.
Okay, let's see. And just for everybody to understand what's going on right now, Right now, I'm using my understanding of numerology with the qualified understanding of the Quran of this gentleman, Wada Q. Okay, and we're looking to see what we find inside the Quran and how these numbers are going to be speaking truth. And once we see that, we're going to start to believe more. And I'm not taking any sides of this God, that God, or the other God. Okay, you still know that God is an algorithm, right? That runs. However, this super being, okay, is irrelevant. That we all breathe in the same breath. So let's go do
Subhanallah,
it.
subhanallah, subhanallah. Shall I read you? I'm reading chapter 96 for you.
Hold on. How do I find it?
It's chapter. Go Google. You can.
I think I got it.
turn your
Chapter
screen.
96. Surah Al-Akay 1 through 19.
You just read it. Turn your camera so people could see.
I don't know. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay, let me take a look and see if I can get this in English here.
Yeah, there is English. You can see underneath. Look, there is an Arabic. There is an originated script, and underneath you'll see English translation. Within the.
Okay, so which one are you at right now?
I'm going to read the whole one, and it's there's only 19 verses. 19. Look,
Okay, you're at 96.1?
what's that?
Are you at 96.1?
Yeah, I'm going to read 19 for you.
Okay, so before number 19 or number 1? Like, look.
Read. Yes, do you see these separated? These are like words. You can count it out yourself. I'm telling you how many there's words in this chapter.
Okay, so do you know what's really cool about this? What I really like, because it just made a confirmation on one of my pieces I was doing. Do you see the start here is no 90, yet it is in the 90s? Because 90 is the area space that is going to be occupied for the headlines of the whole entire page of itself, leaving what is left over only 1 through 9 before you arrive at the next page or the next section. Okay, and I just want to say something before you begin, because I didn't finish with something I wrote, and I have to say this, is because somehow in some word, this word came into effect somewhere. And inside this word, okay, inside of is and ra brings your RH negative blood.
Do you know the crazy part of this chapter? Do you know why I choose this chapter? Yeah, it's 96. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
96.
Yeah, that's 96 has to do with 19. Yeah, and that's 19 times 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
19
this
times
chapter.
5, 105.
Yeah, and this chapter has 285 letters. Can you imagine to see that has to do with 95 times 3? That's 19 as well. Again.
285 letters. These three here.
Yeah. You see, 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what those do? They remain
285. There's 285 letters, which is described in the vertical line.
And each one of
from the
these
cube shape.
Okay, you know what these numbers do together? They all relate to number 8.
Yes. And
The
that has to do with
mathematics of these numbers associated with each other will all go to number 8. Every single one of them. Give me any combination. I'll do it for you. I'll show you. But if you want to continue, you can go ahead.
Wow, I've never thought about it. That's crazy. 285 times within the cube. It's crazy. The letters. Do you know what I mean by letters? Let's just say if you count in Arabic. See the screen. See the screen. You see, these are letters.
Yeah, here.
Letters.
One,
if you count
three,
them. No. These are set words. If you count letters, let's just say there is within the word, there is 4 letters. There's 4 letters. Then you go to the second part, there's 4 letters as well. Then you count all of them. If the chapter has 19 verses, all of them is 285 letters together.
I'm going to tell you something. That when I look at this, for some reason, when I look at this, I want to laugh. I'm going to tell you why. Because I keep seeing cartoon characters going for a walk, sitting at the beach. The sun is out. The palm trees are out. And this is what I see. Sometimes I see arguments. I see one over here. There's 2 people sitting next to a palm tree. and one's facing the opposite way. It looks like they're mad at each other. They're each reading a book. It's just very, very interesting in artwork. I will tell you that. I don't know much about it. I'm not making fun of it, but take a look. Take a look at that artwork in there. Look at that.
Shall I read it for you? Shall I read it for you?
Yes,
Let me read
where
it
are we
for you.
starting?
I'm going to read it on the whole of it, then you read in English, because in our, like, you have to do it like in a one time. I can't. It's not too long. Yes.
Listen, you got it. It's going to be less than 2 minutes and less.
Yeah, no worries. Bismillah.
Otherwise, it's not going to work.
It's not gonna do. It's not gonna be long, man. I'm telling you.
I already read it all.
You've never. Bismillah. Come on, man. What's going on?
Oh my God! I just lost a page.
You just lost it. It's 96.
Okay, chapter 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, go ahead.
اقرأ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. الذي علم بالقلم. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى إن إلى ربك الرجعى أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى كلا لينتهي لنسفعا بالناصية ناصية كاذبة خاطئة فليدع ناديه سندع الزبانية كلا لا تطعه واسجد واقترب. I finished.
Look
That's
at the
yeah.
time.
Yeah. Wow,
Wow.
it's 18. Did you see?
No, it's the read. If you read it properly, right? If you read this properly, it's 375.
375.
Yeah. What does that mean to you? You finished at 375 mark.
But there is 19 verses. There's 19 verses in this chapter. But how does it sound? How does it sound? Do you like it?
It's, you know what? It's cutting. You know what? You have a very good voice. Let me tell you about that. But it's cutting. It's like cutting a sliver. But what I really liked about it is when I read about all this. Now it gave me something to look at, to understand. Look at the numbers from a different view. By understanding 19, no, do not obey him, but kneel down and come near. Then we're going to go to number 13. Do you see how he disbelieved and turned away? And the difference between that one and 12 is, or advocates righteousness, because that's between the male and the female, the 12 and the 13, right? The base creation between the 7 and 11 is going to come when he considers himself exempt. And do you think is upon guidance? Those two come together. They work together. They're words. Anyways.
So Nala, can you break down the first? Let's go. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق, because you remember when we spoke.
Yeah,
we
I
just
know, but
said
I'm
that-
gonna have to, I just want to change the subject right now because I'm going to be finished in 14 minutes. So I don't want to break it down now. If you want to do one-on-one with me one time, I'll just save the channel for that. No problem. But I want to because I want to go back to understanding this before it ends.
Yeah. Let's go.
I
back
want to
to this.
understand I want to know what you see, because you brought it up a while ago, and this is a huge word.
Realm, yeah.
This is a very, what's that?
Rahman is the sacred. Remember the name of Rahman? I told you like 2 months ago.
So
He's representing 6, and Israel is 6 as well.
what do we do with this? What is this?
I think that's an eye, one eye in Egyptian, Ra, the Ra
Okay.
god.
Does this go with this?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it automatically, whether you want it to or not, it automatically does. It's the reverse
Yeah.
alphabet of the word. The I is the reverse of the R, the S the reverse of the H. You split the sides with the A. Aries has jumped in. It's the heavens of Aries.
Remember
The head
you
of
linked
Aries
ham
is
right?
everywhere.
Remember you linked ham radio with the
Yes,
Rahman.
it's still, it's because everybody has to understand.
The
They're
waves.
only
Remember when
reading.
we say electromagnetic has to do with demons and the energy, the negative energy, and all of that, the frequency and vibration. Remember when we spoke about 3 months ago? Remember? Yeah.
Yet, you know what? Because we can't. I don't know why. It's not. No, I'm not
But do
talking
you
to
think it's
you.
coincidence? Let me give you an example.
Well,
This
one second.
book,
One second. I
you
didn't
see,
finish.
this chapter 96, 96
Well, one
has to
second.
do
One
with
second.
number
One
nine.
second. One second. Just one second. I just want to say one thing. Still, like I said, everything we read is on multiple levels. If everybody's only reading one slice of anything, it doesn't matter who you are. I want more explanation, and I've never gotten enough numerically that can be more just than the numbers that I do with my work. So I can never understand what anybody's going to read unless I understand my work, so I can put their understanding at a different level.
I
So now
see,
you
I
can go
see, I
ahead.
see. If Mr. Takmans you join us and you discuss about Quran, everyone will help you, everyone will discuss with you. But if you don't wanna, I'm going because I like talking about this kind of situation. Like I give you the scripture and you see it from numerical sign and you see it from this different angle of it and different aspect. That's why we join you. That's why we want to discuss. But other than that, we like what we do, but it's not related in our timeline. It's not related to nothing. So it's better for you to come in that situation like you used to do before. You used to join. Do you see Gareth? You know Gareth is one of my friends. He was always there. You know Gareth?
Yeah. The only reason I stopped coming in is because when somebody would go, "What does this mean?" or start to talk about it, and I would start to explain myself, I was getting interrupted like right away, and eventually it was like too much for me. And not only
It's
that,
like a joke. Like imagine it's like a joke. Sometimes we joke with you. Like he's not taking it on that level. Like thinking we mocking you or like looking down upon you. It's not like
no,
that. But
no, it's
some
not.
people
It's
you
not.
get. It's like
It's not
sometimes
that.
you get people like that.
It's not that. It's that when my mind can my mind is on track and I can see when I can scribe my way through, when I hear what you say and I remember all the numbers. You know what I'm saying? When I'm there, when I speak, I'm on the train track. When somebody interrupts, a joke, not joke, I just forget and I just like feel stupid, and I feel like there's no purpose for me to be here and tell just part of a story. And did you follow what I'm saying? I'm like a computer that gets unplugged. The minute you interrupt me, you have to start me up again. And
What do you think about what do you think about thermal energy? Like, do you think the heat that we get in our body, do you think that's a demon somehow?
in us, oh,
Yes.
because we get too hot. Okay. There's a multitude of questions I can ask myself also. First of all, I'm not any kind of a scientist, but through numbers and through science of TV and what others have seen, anything is possible. But why would you call it a demon? What does that mean to you? All it means to me is moon control.
Because demons are actually entities that they were before humanity. They lived in this earth thousands of million years. They grasp all the certain knowledge of within the human. So they trying to, because all out of jealousy, because now the human they took over the earth, and somehow they using other kind of elements to harm us because they could not take a human form. They could not take the flesh form, which is the physical realm. They could connect with us with waves, electromagnetics, and all of that. You know, the energy. Do you get what I mean? So they try and sometimes the thoughts that come out in your mind is not actually you. It's actually coming from other negative realms, other negativities. You see, when you feel like because you know that Old Testament and the Quran and all of that, they tell you you're not supposed to do intimacy out of marriage. When you feel those certain desires and urges, what does it cause? It causes heat. It causes the thermal energy, like the fire you feel within you. Within you, you feel like some negative.
Here's your demon.
What is that, man?
Demon.
Moon.
The
Because
moon
I
is the
think
demon.
because I think sun is the demon.
The
Sun is
electric
opposite.
moon,
Moon is
5775.
57 is Muhammad. 57 has to do with
5775. Remember, there's 3 moons. There's more
already
than
one
one
moon.
sun.
We all know
There's more than
Are you on
one
about the
sun.
galaxies? All the galaxies.
Oh no, I'm just talking. There's 3 moons right in our house, or just outside the house, inside. You know, they squared the circle.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to see. Another thing is, just to show you, is you see, you're going to see 7. You can see up to 7 sides holdingness of 8. You can never see all 8. You don't see all the moons all at the same time. You only see 1, sometimes 2. You're never sure. Never comes out at night.
But why did you relate it to moon instead of sun? I don't get it. Why do you relate demons?
It is the connection between the energies of the sun and the moon. The DE is part of the sun. This part is the gateway through the moon. That makes your demon.
I don't get it, man.
And take a look at the number.
understand.
Look at the number. 51. Area 51, you hold your vibration 432. The numeric value opposite of moon is 57. You know what else goes with this? Great Britain. Flag. You know, I did, listen, I got a whole bunch of stuff and I had a whole lot of visions. This is a part of Great Britain.
I don't think that's your studio somehow. It's not your actual.
Oh,
it's
no,
not
this
your
is my
actual house.
apartment. Yeah, no, this is my apartment.
Because I've seen you in different apartments. That's why I was asking. I'm just curious.
Yes. No, it's at my sister's, the other place. This is my place. So this is
Yeah,
Great
alright.
Britain. This is the Kimmel bread that they win. Here's the sun and the moon working in conjunction with each other. Here's your demon. If you want to look at it that way, let's call that the demon.
Bro, I don't think demons are that way. I'm not thinking this now because I think demons
No, I'm
are
talking
actually
this is the sun and the
entities.
moon.
But they connect to this realm by using by like taking energy forms. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
Especially
whatever it
the
is, they
thermal
don't need to
energy.
take
Especially
form.
the thermal energy.
They don't need to
They
take
take a
form.
form.
They don't need to
What
take
was that?
form. They don't need to take form.
They already
They form
like,
inside of you by your thoughts. Right away, boom, bang.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
You
sometimes
bring it
the
on your
ideas
whatever you do, if you think you're fine tuning, right?
because everything is mind at the end. Because I believe everything has consciousness, whether the mountains, whether the water, everything has consciousness. Same as plants, whether we feel it or not. We don't feel plants, they have like consciousness. We don't feel it. But they have similar to anything, even mountains. Everything is mind at the end. We connect to it.
And that's how this
Deep
happens
within.
at the end.
Bro, what are you yapping about, bro? What are you talking about? What's that?
Well, you
Karma.
said,
Karma. You're trying to say karma.
yeah, karma.
I thought you said that.
Yeah, the karma, because you're talking, it's exact. I mean, that's karma only can come is if everything had some sort of connection to the breath. You know what I'm saying? The plants, whatever the plants give off, the involvement. Maybe it's through the earth, the trees, the leaves, whatever it is. This is one big house we live in. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know? And this is where we come in. the how do we find the one element that brings us all together, right? So anybody who doesn't believe that there's a creator, I believe if I can finite my work, I will be able to show them that the math, the preciseness of the math and the history, the lies and the truth have all been following these algorithms. Do you understand? I don't care if it's a lie or if it's the truth. If it came out in a word, in a phrase, in a sentence, in the news, if you gave it a name to a school, to a person, if it was highlighted anywhere where people were able to go over an algorithm that people saw it in the news, it made the headlines. As easy as ABC, we're going to know. And when people know that this whole place was built on utopian algorithm, people will come and will say, okay, it's
Everything
time
is
to
sound.
stop.
Everything created by sound. Everything is frequency. Everything is vibration. God, He created this world by words. Like, for example, the cymatics. If you speak to the water and you got certain radiation and waves that you will turn it into geometrical shape, will gives you the triangle, octahedron, the sacred flower, all of those geometrical shapes, the five platonic solids, all of them you'll find it by the sound and frequency, and by using the waves and radiations to measure them, and you could see. That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
That shows you because the words have effect. Because the words, it has like effect. Like, can you see sometimes the word has more effect than the actual physical, like when you do something physically. Sometimes words affects more. Words is powerful. That's why, you get what I mean?
You know what? When we
Everything
were
what
younger,
see is Allah's world, Allah's imagination. His imagination is manifesting into realities. Whatever He thinks, He creates. Whatever He thinks of, because every positive thing that you see in this world is being created by God, and whatever negativity you see, every negativity is being created by Satan and demons. Has nothing to do with God. God is good, and Iblis is negative. Iblis is Lucifer. Because you see all the bacterials, all the bad stuff.
I only have a
to
few
humanity.
minutes left. So I'm gonna just show you a few little magical words. You see this?
AC, yeah, the represents.
Okay, no, sorry, it's an L.
I thought L, yeah.
Do you see this?
La,
And this?
LA.
Allah. Split the word up. Okay? Split the word up. Add 1 through 12 equals to 78. Add 1 through 12 equals to 78. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 57, 75. You want to see something else? I'm not sure if this works anymore. Have you ever seen this before? 1776?
Yeah.
Six and 1. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 6 and 1 is 7. That's your 1776 flipped backwards over itself. This, when you add up 1 through 12, the mother house. The mother house inside Allah, splitting up the word 1 through 12, the mother house ending on the 336 or on the 12th moon. This ends over here. It equals to 78. 77 is the power of the Christ, 88 of the constellations. 78 is going to hold the Queen's Gate. Also,
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Well, because there's so many things. Like that's how I started at the beginning. The beginning is that every letter, every dot, every dash has its own suitcase. You know, there's different sizes, creating different realms, and it was about realms today. That was really good. I don't know how you came in here. It was all about realms, different ways of thinking, different paths people take, and how I don't like to say this, and how we can either broaden the path or just say straight. Is it any more to what is here? How come I'm not allowed to question the word of the Father? In fact, it's the opposite they actually want you to do. My father would say one thing. He says, I never wanted you to do that. He says, I was testing you. So maybe we're just all being tested. That's why we're not logically thinking, right? That's why we're accepting what happened to this place. When I mean Earth.
Are you scholar when it comes to Old Testament, Torah?
No, I'm not nothing. I just like to listen to the stories. I do celebrate two holidays. One of them is Passover.
The Sur, ونفخ في الصور. Wisdom. What's the second part?
It's what's that?
What is the second part? You said you celebrating two.
Oh, Passover.
What's
and,
the second one?
Passover and Rosh Hashanah. Those are the only two. And you want to hear something ironic about that? It happens at the first zodiac sign, and it happens at the seventh zodiac sign, which means it happens at the beginning of continuous different zodiacs. The zodiacs move in sets: 6s, 8s, 3s, 4s, 1s, 2s, and 12s. Those are the only perfect numbers that fit in. And it's perfect. It works exactly out to the zodiac. There's only 12. The enemy sign is the seventh one. So there's something going on, and they already gave to us the answer to this is when we start to understand how the combinations of the cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs work. Does
it has to do with the Anunnaki somehow?
Can I tell you something? I'm not finished accumulating all my work. It's just a couple of years where I started to really fully understand the numbers more. And now that I brought in the shapes into this to try and understand why the Platonic solids only go to the dodecahedron. One of the results is 9 times 5 equals 45, meaning five Platonic solids and 9 times the smallest one, which is 720 equals 6480, the dodecahedron, showing us that what was created in this world stops at 9.
I see. Makes sense.
And 45 and 5 and 4 is the female with inside this world. The male is 36 on the outside. There's a doorway between 3 and 4. It even shows it to you here. And it levels up. It just doesn't only show it here, but it's also 13 and 14. And it's also 23 and 24. Each one of them have their own doorway. You want me to tell you where 13 and 14 is? It comes from 1, 3, and 5. It's part of the sun system. Where does it split it up? Between the first 13 letters of the alphabet and the second. This is when the Mayan calendar fits in to a glove. Perfect glove with the Mayan calendar. You couldn't make it any perfect. And you couldn't make it any perfect putting it up against what? It's the only thing that can flip itself into understanding what pi is all about. It's actually 7 days is perfect pi to who you are. 7 times 142, 857. This is who we are. We're 999,999. We're just missing to be 1 in a million. We rotate in our 7 days in this fashion. On day 8, after the day of rest, we reset at this number.
So how did you come up with this conclusion at this occasion? Using what? Which methods?
Using hold on a second. This will be my last piece, and let's do it properly.
Yes, Akhi, Wagwan, Akhi Sky. My guy. Support the brother, just give him one rose. He's doing his thing, innit? He's doing numbers. I can just asking him questions that I can relate to Quran.
So see this here? This is the 20, I don't know what they call it, the HAB or whatever, right? So this is the rotation of 7. Where is it? Here. No. Here. No, it's here. Here. No, it's here. It's here.
But you said 9. Yeah,
Here
that
it
one.
is.
on
Got
the
it.
right
Got
one.
it. Got it. Right here. This is what it is. 142,857. 999,999. 1 in a million. We can only have 6 positions. You can't use more than 6 positions. There can be a comma in between 3 areas and 3 areas of the total of 6 areas, right? This is the 7th area. This is the first area. The total of this area over here, how this is manufactured, is this is an area of 7. This is an area 20. The Mayan have the same thing. It's the same setup. 7 areas and 13 areas. 13 moons, 7 days a week. Put that 7 days a week over here. We make up the 7th day. We are the day of rest. After the 7th day, we come back to the beginning, day 8, 7 and 1. Our gateway, 1 and 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our gateway, we're going to go 1 through 13, or 2 through possibly 12. So do you see where I got my numbers from? 1 times, 2 times. Yeah. So now when you take the 7 over to the 12, or you take the 13 over to the 6, I don't know if there's any more combinations. But what goes along with this is that I'm always a little lost with this. Is the first one, the third and the fourth one, okay? The 9th one and the 10th one and the 12th one all include the same numbers. The second one, the 4th, 5th, 6th, the second
Does that
one.
represent the moon cycle? Does that represent the moon,
Yes,
moon
yes,
cycle?
yes.
Yeah?
And there's a cycle within the cycle that shows me there's 2 gateways within the moon cycle on each side. And it starts to take place between Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. They're all the same rotational numbers.
Probably these are 4, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said there is 12 months within Allah's like picture. He that's his legislation. That's his laws. He goes by number 12. That's why he says in the Quran. Then he said there is 4 sacred month. There's 4 sacred, which could represent the stars and what you mentioned, the Virgo and you said Aries. What is it?
Aries. Oh, which one? Which time? You're talking about the Leo?
You said those circulation. They same rotation. They do the same rotation. Those 4.
So my question is, because there's 4 months of 30 days: the month of April, the month of June, the month of September, and the month of November. So listen, we're going to end it here because I'm going to be leaving. I have a few things to do. I want to take this back up. It was very interesting. If you know something about number 27, okay, that's another big number. One of the reasons for that is every single one of these algorithms, when you add up each line, they're all 27. Each one coming up to the 7th day, each one of these will be the exact same numbers: 142,857, 142,857, 142,857, 142,857. 142,857, 142,857. Perfect. Do you know what pi is?
Yeah.
22 divided by 7 equals this. You want to see it?
Can I take a screenshot?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I just want to show you one thing. Do you see pi?
It's 3.14. Yeah, I
Forget
can see
about the
it.
3. The only reason the 3 is there is
7.
nothing begins until 3. All creation begins after alpha, beta come together to create. And that's where Allah comes in, working in L and not with B. Because it's bringing life creation within the letter L. And it's because remember, it's within the soul of Ishmael that Allah comes. That's according to my work. And inside the house of Abraham. So the reason for that is the numeric value for Ishmael is 67. The numeric value for water is 67. The numeric value for soul is 67. Where 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals to 6 and 7. Where those numbers create the half-life that are being shared. That is the reason why.
I can relate that to Quran because I
And at the
believe
same
that all this sacred book has to do with the timeline. Remember when you talk about the Ilm al-Zamakan, what I mentioned to you, and that has to do with the astronomy and the way the moon circulation and all of that. So of course I can relate it to Quran. That's why I'm impressed what you say.
Okay, so and
I
the
can
last thing
relate
is
to Quran.
the 1 times 6 to 1 plus 6 equals to the 13 of the crisscrossing of the zodiac. When you crisscross the zodiac and bring the 6th sign of V6 over onto Virgo, and I take Virgo and overlap into the Libra area, holding on to the wrist, I went 7th, my position over here, into the 7th. Making an extension. That would make 6 and 1, 6 and 1, 7, equaling to 14. I got to go. I'll speak later, a little bit later tomorrow. It was pleasant. Thank you very much. I did enjoy it. I think it worked out great. I'm happy. I can't even get out of
See you.
there.
I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time, man.
Yeah,
I'll
it
see
was
you
good.
next